Welcome back for today's nugget. We are at the halfway mark, and Wednesday's lesson draws our attention to an unlikely hero of faith, a woman. And not just any woman, but this woman's a prostitute and a pagan. And you have to ask, what in the world can a pagan teach us Christians about faith? And to make matters worse, she's a prostitute. Now, up till now, everybody's been considered a somewhat righteous person. But Rahab? Really? I mean, if you think about it logically, the next person you would think to show up in our Hall of Faith would have been Joshua. I mean, Joshua took over from Moses, and he led the children of Israel into victorious battle after victorious battle. I mean, come on. If you want faith, Joshua's your guy. So we scratch our heads, and you've got to wonder why Rahab. I think that Paul wants to talk to us Gentiles. I mean, up till now, all of the heroes were mostly Hebrew. I mean, you can trace their family line from Seth to Abraham to Moses. But Rahab is not from that family tree. She's a Gentile, and even by Gentile standards, she's a sinner. And yet she is saved the same way you and I are saved, by faith. By faith she heard, and she believed, and she obeyed. So here's what is so remarkable about Rahab. Rahab hadn't heard the stories of Abraham, Isaac, or Jacob. She didn't see God like Abraham or wrestle with God like Jacob. She wasn't there for the 10 plagues or the parting of the Red Sea. She didn't see a fire by night or a cloud by day. She hadn't eaten manna, and she certainly didn't feel God's presence at Sinai. Nor did she hear his voice when he spoke to the children of Israel. She had none of that. The only thing she had was faith. Then Paul goes on to compare Rahab with everyone else who followed. People of faith who slew giants, overthrew kingdoms, survived fiery furnaces, and one even survived the night in a lion's den. And they did so because they had the stories of faith that empowered their own faith. And Paul's point again is that Rahab didn't have any of that. But you and I do. And Paul's audience certainly did. Remember at the beginning, Paul said, you didn't just hear the gospel, but you received miracles. The blind could see, the deaf could hear, the lame could walk. Paul's audience had more proof than Rahab, and they had everything their faith would require. So if Rahab could live by faith, then so could they, and so can we. Well, that's our nugget for today. You take care. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow.